Hi everyone, welcome to all the new people that have joined the journey. I just want to talk today about the actual injection itself. We've got a very lovely guy called Dave Walker who likes to put angry faces and basically told me that it's killing everyone. So I just thought I'd reference this to you, Dave. The tirzepatide injection, which is the Mounjaro, has been through clinical trials, and the biggest thing that everybody knows is obesity is a chronic disease that affects so many people. And we get the lovely guys that tend to put comments on, stitch your mouth up, just stop eating. If life was only that simple, then we could just all think ourselves thin. It doesn't work like that. I've tried dieting for years. I've tried all the gimmicks. I went to Slimming World. And yes, I lost weight and put it all back on again. The medications that I'm on do tend to cause you to put weight on. I have hypothyroidism, so I naturally put on everything I look at. Anyway, back to this trial. Just one that I found as an example. 2,539 participants from 9 different countries. So they weren't all based in one country. And they had to have a BMI of 30 or more to be accepted on the trial. And the ratio was 1:1:1:1. And the doses that they took were 5, 10, and 15 milligrams. And you had the fourth group, which were the placebo. They'd done 72 weeks, including the 20-week escalation of the dose to go up through the 5, 10, and 15. Now, of the groups that had side effects, because we do know that with Mounjaro there are side effects, and quite a few of them are unavoidable. 9% of the placebo group had sickness, and they're on a placebo, so that's completely in the mind. 7% of the placebo group had diarrhea, and 5.8% of the placebo group had constipation. So, you can argue the fact there that they're not even taking the drug, and yet they still came out with the 3 side effects that are most common with the Mounjaro. Sickness in the rest of the 5, 10, and 15 milligram groups were 33%. And that's whether it's just feeling sick or there are a few extremes of people actually being sick. 23% had diarrhea and 17% had constipation. The placebo group seemed to have as many side effects as not. 95% had a loss of about 20% of their starting weight, which is like common for the Mounjaro. Most side effects on the Mounjaro are when you actually change a dose. So if you went from 2.5 to 5, I found that was the hardest dose to actually take, the 5, because you're doubling from 2.5 to 5. You can, if you really struggle, just not give yourself so much. So if you gave a half dose, then you're still giving the Mounjaro, but you're not doubling your dose. And I have known somebody that tried this, and it has actually worked. On the relevance of discontinued, on the 5 milligrams, 4% discontinued due to adverse either diarrhea, vomiting. On the 10 milligrams, it was 7%, 6.2% on the 15 milligrams, and the placebo, 2.6% dropped out for having adverse reactions to the placebo, which I would have thought when they were told they had the placebo, if they were told that, would have been slightly embarrassing. So, yeah, there are a few people that have had really bad side effects, and it's the same with any drug. For instance, every now and again, I have to go in and have an iron infusion because I've got pernicious anemia. And the first time I went in for the infusion, I sat in the chair, they put the drip into my arm, and I must have had 2, maybe 3 drops go into my arm, and I had a serious reaction to the iron. My eyes just rolled to the back of my head, and the nurses come running with a jump pack, and luckily I felt it straight away, and I just said, I don't feel good, and they immediately switched it off, and I had to then sit there for longer than it would have took, having like tests, and I had to have the heart things put on, but apparently it's 1 in 10,000 has a reaction to the first iron infusion I had, and I had to be that 1 in 10,000 people. I went back and had a second iron infusion, which was a different make, and it was absolutely fine. So anybody can react to anything, and unless you've actually tried it, then you don't know if you're allergic to it. And the only dose that I had a side effect to was the 5 milligrams, and I actually felt a little bit sick on that, but I wasn't physically sick. And I do get constipation, and I find that's made worse if I don't keep my fluids up. But then I've got IBS, so I don't care if I've got constipation, and I don't care if I have a day of the runs. I'd rather have the runs than being constipated, providing that I'm near a toilet. But yeah, somebody may have died. I don't know. I have not heard this, but everybody reacts different to different drugs. So the Mounjaro is not going to be suitable for everybody. And Dave, if you know someone that has passed away, yeah, I feel sorry for the family, and the person that obviously did pass away. But there's no evidence. Yes, they may have been on Mounjaro, but there's no evidence that Mounjaro is the one thing that killed you. Because when you're obese, and I'm still classed as morbidly obese, I'm not even in the just fat group, I'm still morbidly obese. I've had a stint in hospital. I never thought I was coming out. I had multiple blood clots on both lungs and pneumonia. Where that come from, I can only put it down to a drug that they now have taken away from me, naproxen, and I've been told I can't take it again ever, and I can't take ibuprofen because it's of the same family as the naproxen. But to be told that you've got multiple blood clots, not just one, at the age I was, sort of in my late 40s, I was seriously ill. And I put that down to just taking a drug for inflammatory reasons. So I'm still going to take the Mounjaro. And I mean, I've been on it now for 6 months. And I'm still alive, Dave. Still going, still losing weight. It's a bit slower now because I've lost 4 stones so far and a couple of pounds. And I haven't really, up till now, done any exercise at all. As you all know, me and the treadmill are not friends. And I've got my vibroplate, which I normally try and do every couple of days. And I have started to go once a week to the swimming pool and bob around in the water for about half an hour. Certainly not going to win the Olympic swimming, but I can do a little bit, and it relieves the stress off of my joints and everything that I'm struggling to use to exercise. So at least in water, the water kind of looks after the fatty bits for me while I try and move. But yeah, there's going to be haters out there that disagree. You probably read it. This one guy who said he couldn't get his medication because they're giving it to fat people. Just one correction on that. We're not given it. We have to pay for it. So, you know, you can hate away. I'm not bothered. This is the first thing that's actually worked for me in years, you know, and I'm not going to stop it just because there's a couple of people out there that disagree. There's more obesity now than there ever was because there's so much processed food. And it's all well somebody saying, oh, just eat this, just eat that. If it was that simple, do you not think we would have done that and tried it? But when you've got your insides demanding food, then it's not easy to just give in and to actually have that amount of lack of willpower to give in. And depression as well. Depression drives eating because for a lot of people it's comfort food. And yeah, chocolate makes you feel good. You know, maybe try and put that bit of feel good factor in a banana. It doesn't work. And yeah, I don't have that willpower. I can keep it up for a week, a couple of weeks, and then I break. Something happens and you're back to how feeling crap. And, you know, and you've got the people that look down their nose at you. Don't worry about it. You know, you're doing your journey. I'm doing my journey for me. And if I can help any of you, just feel that it's okay. And it's okay to not be okay. And this is your journey. And don't be put off by the people that will try and put you off. You know, for me, to lose this amount of weight is incredible. 4 stone, a whole mini human being. And yeah, if you don't like it, tough. Because I'm buying it and I'm staying on it until I reach the goal that I want. And I personally don't know anybody that has been hospitalized because of Mounjaro. And even if I did, this is working for me. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to keep doing it.